Good morning, students. Today, in this lecture, we will discuss about the channel coding. Before starting the channel coding, we will revise little bit about the source coding. So, first of all, we will discuss the basic block diagram of our digital communication system. So, in digital communication system, in our previous lectures, we have discussed about the basic property of our informations, how we have perform the source coding, and now we will see what is the role of channel coding in our communication system. After doing the channel coding, we will go to the modulation techniques, and after then through transmitter we will transmit our signals. So first of all, we will discuss about the role of channel coding. So basically, the channel coding is done controlling the error in our transmission system. So first of all, for controlling the error control, or to remove the errors in our signals, we have to perform the channel coding at the transmitter sections. And by introducing the channel coding in our transmitted signals, we have introduced some redundant bits, so that at the receiver section we can easily find out the errors in our data. So first of all, we have to see that what types of error controlling can be done in our system. So here, first one is the error detection and retransmission. So as the name indicates that first of all we have to detect the error. So receiver doesn't attempt to correct the error. So in this type of process, receiver only detect the error. It doesn't attempt to correct that error, and receiver simply request a retransmission. So there is only a error detection, and after then we can request for a retransmission. So there is no error correction method is completed this type of error detection techniques. And then if we have find out the error, then receiver request for a retransmissions. And this type of techniques we have require full duplex connections. If you are talking about the example, so that is the automatic retransmission request, so we have to request for again retransmit that particular data. Now we have moved to the forward error correction. So what type of process we have to follow here? The receiver can correct and detect the error. So in this method, first of all, error will be detected, and after then it will be corrected. And it will requires only the simplex connections. It will doesn't require the full duplex connections. If you are talking about the examples of our forward error correction technique, so that will be the block codes and convolution codes. So now first of all, we will in this lecture we will discuss about the block codes and his sub class of that particular cyclic code. So now we will see what about the block code. So first one is the linear block code. So as the name suggests, the information bit stream is divided into the block. So it is generally we have take a block of data, or that is a basically word data word that is called as a block in this technique. So first of all, we have to take the k bits block, means in your data word will be the k bits. Number of bits are k in our data word, and each block is encoded to a longer block of n bits. Encoded means what type of encoding you have to done. You have added some redundant bits or some extra bits to this block of k bits data, and then you can convert these k bits of data into n bits of data. So these n bits of data is called as a coded bits, and after then these coded bits are modulated, and we will send these data into the channel. The reverse processor is done at the receiver. So what you have to done, there is a channel encoder. You have at initial data block, means what type of messages information data you have at present, so that is called as a data block. And suppose that data block is k bits, then we have to pass these data block through a channel encoder, so it will be converted into the code word of n bits. So what you have to done at the channel encoder, and how your data block will be converted into the code word, so we will see in a further slides. So suppose you have a total k message bits, so that is m1, m2 and mk. So these m1, m2 and mk will indicate as a message bits, and then we have to add some parity bits. So these parity bits is equal to n minus k, so you have to reach to the n bit. So this is fixed, because you have to convert your data block into the n bits code block. And for converting these data block into the n bits code word, you have to again convert, you add n minus k parity bits in the message bits. So that is basically we can made the n bit code word. Now how we can control the error in by using this. So first of all, by k bit data word is converted into the n bits code word. So now what will happens here, a binary block code generates a block of n coded bits. So that is basically k bits information is converted or generates into a n bit code words. So we call this so n and k. So that is if we want to represent our block code, so we can use n, total number of bits, and k is the number of message bits. So n code word symbols can take on 2 raised to power n possible values corresponding to all possible combinations of n binary numbers. So as we can see that if you have n code words, so there are 2 raised to power n possible symbols. Okay, so here is you have to see that n possible symbols uh, can be generated, or a 2 raised to power n possible code word can be generated by using this n code word symbols. And if you are talking about the data value, so 2 raised to power k code words from these 2 raised to power n possibilities is to be selected from the code, such that k bit information block is uniquely mapped to one of these 2 raised to power k code words. So in our further slides, we will see this code is said to be linear if addition of any two code word in the code procedure is a third code word in the code. So this is a very linear informations, so you can done the linear addition, that is a modulo 2 additions, and any two of code word in the code produce a third code word in the code. And this is also called a systematic code if first k elements in the code word are information bits. The encoding operation of linear block code involves the basically two operations. So segmentation of information sequences. So first of all, you have to segment the information sequences, and transformation of each message block into the block of n bits according to some predetermined set of rules. So that is basically you have to consider that each message block will convert it into the n bits code word. So if you have a k bit, so there are 2 raised to power k possibilities, and these each message will be converted into the code. So first of all, suppose we have to consider message block m, that is equal to m1, m2, m3 dash dash mk. So these are the number of bits in the message block. Each message bit can be 0 or 1. So that is depend ki this is basically a combination of bits. So that is basically combination of 0 and 1, and there are 2 raised to power k distinct message blocks, and each message block is transformed to the code word C. So if we are talking about the code word C, so that is C1, C2 and up to the Cn. So there will be 2 raised to power k distinct code word, one unique code word for each distinct message. So we will by adding some extra bits or parity bits, we can make a unique code of these 2 raised to power k different code words. So you can see here C1, C2, Cn. So these are the number of bits. So how you can represent these bits? These bits is basically a M1, M2, Mk. So that is the basically k bits message signal, plus remaining bits are P1 to n minus k, that is the parity bits. And after adding the parity bits, we can convert our message signals into the code word. So that is the process how we can generate. So there is not only a single code word, there is basically a 2 raised to power k code words. So all code words will be converted into the n bit, all message word will be converted into the n bit code word. So here this is the very general description. You have a m bit message signal, so that is the M1, M2, Mk, and by using the different combinations, there is a 2 raised to power k possible message blocks, and each block will be added some parity bits, and after addition of parity bits, we can convert this k bit message into the n bit code word. And apart from that, apart M1 to Mk is the data word, and after then uh, P1 to Pn minus k bits we will add as a parity bit. So that is basically a standard basic equations of our linear block code. Now this is we can see in terms of matrix form. So you can see here, suppose you have a unit matrix, so how you can represent. So suppose you have a m1, m2, mk. So now what will happen here? Okay, how you can represent your data. So if you are talking about the code word, so how you can your code word will be represented. So C1 ci is equal to mi, means what type of data you are using. So ci means c1, c2, c3 and ci up to the ci, that is equal to m1, m2 and mi. So we are talking about the ci equal to mi for I is equal to n minus k and n minus k plus 1, so dash n. So there is basically how you can define these terms. So c1 to cn minus k, we will define our parity bits, and after ci to mi, that is the data word. So according to that, you can write suppose c1. So that is the basically what about the c1. C1 is a combination of m1, m2 and mk. Okay, so m1, m2 and mk. So you can write here P11, P12, and P1 n minus k. So that is the parity bits, and these are the M1, M2, and Mk. And up to the C n minus k. So you have 1 to k part. So that is equal to P11, that is equal to Pk1, and M1, M2 is same because you are using the M1 to Mk. There is different combinations of M1, Mk. So by using the different combination of M1, M2, and Mk, we will make the C1 to Cn minus k code words, and starting code words that is equal to the Ci, that is equal to Mi. So that is whatever I is equal to, you can take here n minus k, n minus k plus 1, so on. So that is basically, this is the message signal M1, M2, Mk, and this is the parity bits what we have to generate it, and this is a unit matrix of our message block. So this is the M1, M2, M3. So that is equal to C1, C2, C3. So that is the basically given in the unit matrix forms. And this is the parity bits what we have to edit according to our message blocks. So if you have, so that is a basic standard generator matrix. So we called it this type of matrix as a generator matrix, and this generator matrix is responsible for generating the code word. So if we are talking about the generator matrix, so it is basically a parity matrix in and identity matrix. So here what we have to see that IK. So I जो identity matrix है, it will denoted as a K into K unit matrix. So if you are talking about the 7 4 code, so there is for data bits are 4, so that is a 4 into 4 matrix. And after then we have to add the parity bits. G is equal to P I K. k into n. So that is the generator matrix, and the row and column that is equal to k into n. So number of rows are k and number of columns that is equal to n columns. So that is the basically k into n generator matrix, and that is a basically combination of parity matrix and identity matrix. So what about the k into k, that is called as a identity matrix, and p, what about the p? So p is equal to k into n minus k, that is the parity matrix. So again, this is the general representation of our linear block code. After taking some one examples, we will explain you in details ki how our linear block codes working is done. So I think you have to comfortable with C is equal to mg. If you have to given the any message signal, suppose message signal is 4-bit combination, so you have 16 types of message signals, and by using m0, m1 to m15, so that is the message signals, and any type of message signals can be product with the generator matrix G, then you can generate your code word of that particular message signals. So that is the basic phenomena. Code word C, that is equal to M into G. So capital G is the generator matrix, and small m, that is equal to the message bits. So linear block code. So generator matrix is a compact description of how code words are generated from information bits, and there is basically a linear block code. The design goal in linear block code is to find the generator matrix. So first of all, you have to know the generator matrix. So what about the generator matrix? So such that the corresponding codes are easy to encode and decode. So coding and decoding of these codes are easy. And you have powerful error correction detection capabilities. Means if you have to detect any error, you have the power to correct that particular error. So that is what will happens here. So there two things is important in our designing the linear block code. Corresponding codes are easy to encode and decode. So there is a basic easiest method to encoding and decoding. And second one is error correction methods or detection capabilities should be powerful in our linear block code. Trade-off between the efficiency, reliability, encoding, decoding, and complexity means basically if you are talking about the efficiency, if you are talking about the reliability, so there may be little bit trade-off between other techniques, and this is the point we have to remember. Now we will take a numericals, and by using these numericals, we will better in understanding the linear block code. So suppose find the linear block code. You have to given the linear block code G and code generator matrix Gx, that is equal to 1 plus x cube. So you have to given the this one for a 7 by 4 code. So first of all, you have to see in this numerical that find out linear block code vector G. So you have to given the generator matrix. So if you have to given the generator matrix, so first of all you have to calculate the generator matrix in terms of matrix format. So first of all, you will see that total number of bits are 7, number of information bits are 4, and number of parity bits that is equal to n minus k 3. So now what will happen here? You can write the unit matrix because your generator matrix G, that is equal to P into I. So that is the P, P1, P2, P3, P4, and I is equal to 1 0 0 0 1. So that is the unit matrix. So what about the pi? Remainder of this one, x n minus k plus I minus 1 upon gx. So how you can calculate the parity? So you can calculate your parity from putting the value of I, that is equal to 1 to k, and after putting these values and what type of remainder you are achieving, according to that we can calculate the parity bits. So parity check matrix. So associated to each nk. So suppose you have a nk linear block code, and there is a parity matrix H. So how you can define your parity matrix? Parity check matrix H. So suppose in initially generator matrix G, that is defined as a parity bit parity matrix P into the identity matrix I. But if you are talking about the parity check matrix, it will defined as a I. So now not I k into k, that is I n minus k, and that is the P transpose. So here we have to take the transpose of P. And parity check matrix H has its own is rows orthogonal to rows of G, such that, so in this way we can G H transpose that is equal to 0. So H has its own orthogonal rows. Now what will happen here? Parity check matrix H is used to detect the errors in the receiver. So there is basically how we can remove the errors. So parity check matrix is used to remove the errors, and C is the code word in NK block code generated by the G. So that is the C H transpose that is equal to 0. So C is the code word. So what type of system we are designing? So we are seeing the basic general equations in which we have a M bit block data and N bit code word. After then we can generating the code word C by using the M into G. So by multiplication of simple message signals and generator matrix, we can get our code word C1 and C2. And after that designing, we will see that how we can recover our signal. So we will little bit revise here, and that is the generator matrix G. So what about the PI? So you have to calculate the PI for remainder of what type of equations we have taken. So equation is n minus k plus 1 upon gx, where I is equal to 1 to k. Linear block code, so that is basically G H transpose that is equal to 0. So G for the generator matrix and H transpose that is defined by using the G. So basically if we are working on the G or G H transpose, so H is equal to the I n minus k into P transpose. So that is the relation between H and G. Now you can see here parity check matrix H is used to detect the error. Okay, so if we are to how to calculate the error in parity check matrix H, you can detect by using the parity check matrix. And now what will happen? C is the code word. So first of all, C dot H transpose that is equal to 0. Now at the receiver section, what will happen? We are taking before taking a numerical values. We will first see. Let's suppose received word R that is equal to C for code word and E for error vector. So that is basically R that is equal to code word plus E error vector. So first of all, what type of code word you are transmitted at the transmitting station? There may be some error will be added in additive form. So basically we have to assume that error is always in the additive form. So R that is equal to C plus E. So that is the basic equations, how you can calculate the received word R. So that is equal to code word plus E, that is the error vector, and what type of error is introduced in our block data, it will be calculated by further. And there is again a equation ki syndrome S that is equal to R into H transpose. So R is the received word and that is equal to C H transpose plus error vector E. So we can also write the value of C plus E instead of R, and we can see that E H transpose. What about the value of this? So if R is a valid vector, then syndrome of S is 0. Non-zero S indicates here, there is also a line of non-zero S indicates that there are errors in the transmission. So suppose we have to first try that if error vector is 0 0 0 0, then there is no error. But if there is a existence of error vector in this equation, so it means that there may be error, and we can find out that error syndrome s that is equal to eh transpose. There is a value. If eh transpose that is equal to 0 means there is no error vector, and we can avoid the error vector. So non-zero S indicates that there are errors in the transmission, and thus S is used to detect the errors. So it is also used to correct the errors. So that is basically why we are using the this type of terminology. So it is used to detection of errors and correction of errors. Now we will see errors can be corrected at the receiver by comparing the S with the row of H transpose and correcting the ith received bit if S matches with the ith rows of H transpose. So you have to remember how you can find out the error. So basically you have to compute the syndrome S with the rows and correcting the ith received bit if S matches with the ith row of S transpose. अगर something is matching with syndrome S, that is equal to, that is syndrome S, that is the non-zero element है, so means there is a error, and then you can calculate that error by multiply your error vector E with the H transpose. So now we can see here message vector. You have a message block. You have given the generator matrix, and by multiply C that is equal to M into G, so you can generate the code word. Now same thing is now reverse actions will be happens here. So now what will happens here? Basically, if you have to receive the code word, you have converted your message block into the code word, and this code word is again converted into the null vector, or you have to find out that RH transpose or EH transpose that is equal to 0. So parity check matrix H. So if we are talking about the parity check matrix H transpose, that is responsible for removing the error from code word. So if we are multiplying your CH transpose with charity check matrix, we will get the null vector 0. So operations of generator matrix and the parity check matrix. So this is basically how it will work. First of all, by using the generator matrix, you will convert your message signal into the code word, and by using the parity check matrix H transpose, you will convert your code vector into the null vector, or you can also call it as a error vector will be 0. Now this is the example. This is a 6-3 LBC code with generator matrix G. Find code word for all the distinct messages. So here we have to solve these questions, and we can see it. You have given a 6-3 LBC code. So now here n is equal to 6 and k is equal to 3, means you have to given the 3 into 3 k. Suppose जैसे कि identity matrix, so that is equal to k into k identity matrix. So you can see here, this is the identity matrix 100, 010, and 001. So this is the identity matrix. And what about the parity check matrix? So that is given you already given in the generator matrix. We have a generator matrix, we have a message bit. So by using the formula C is equal to G into M. So that is we can find out the code word of all these messages. Linear block code in polynomials form, the code word Cx that is equal to Mx into Gx. So what type of generator matrix you have to given? You have to multiply with Mx, and then you will get the code word. So Mx is the message polynomial and Gx is the generator polynomial, or capital G is the generator matrix. So you can see here P1 to Pk will represented in this form. So this is a parity bits. Pi, that is the remainder of x n minus k plus I minus 1 upon gx, and I is equal to 1 to k, and capital I is the unit matrix. So this is a factor where pi is basically a remainder of this formula where you have to written x n minus k plus 1, k plus I minus 1, and that is divided by gx for I is equal to 1 to k, and capital I is the unit matrix. Now you have to again given the another generator matrix 7 by 4. So now what you have to done, you have a 4 bit, number of information bit is 4, and total number of bits is 7. So 7 4 code you have to given. Now what about the g is equal to p into I. So you have I for identity matrix, and that is a k into k means 4 into 4. So first of all you will write the basically I 4 into 4. Now this is the parity matrix, and how you can calculate the parity matrix. Pi, that is remainder of x n minus k plus I minus 1 upon gx. So that is after dividing the these things you can find out your reminders. P1, that is equal to x n minus k plus I minus x. So P1, P2, P3 you can calculate from this side. And after dividing with gx you can find out the remainder. So what type of remainder we are achieving, after then we can calculate the different number of bits combinations, and these will be written in the place of P1, P2, P3 and P4. So this is the method by using that we can calculate the values. So this is a formula where you have to calculate these values. I think it will be clear to you. This is the final values we have to find out. By using these final values we can calculate it. There is again another example, but in different formats. You have to given the H, okay, parity check matrix, and now you have to given the received word R. So now what you have to done, S is equal to R H transpose. So there is a H transpose, and it will be multiplied by R, so that is equal to R. So R H transpose, whatever values you are receiving, that will be the syndrome vector. So that is a syndrome, and verify that is equal to the E H transpose के equivalent है. So S is equal to R H transpose or E H transpose, both are equals. Now we will see again the brief description of Hamming codes. So if we are talking about the Hamming code are a subclass of linear block code. So that is basically a division of a linear block code, and it is a single error correcting perfect code. To correct a single error LBC must have a minimum distance. So there may be conditions. The single error LBC have a minimum distance D minimum, that is equal to 3. So what type of code word you are taken, but the minimum distance between these two code word will be equal to 3. LBC code for which T is equal to 1 and D min is equal to 3 is Hamming code. So basically it is a Hamming code. Now we have to check number of parity bits, code length, number of information bits, and minimum distance between two code words. And error correction capability T, that is equal to 1, means 1 bit error correction can be done by using the Hamming codes. So these codes are simple, and this is basically the based on the linear block code. So that is the subclass of linear block code. Now linear block code syndrome decoding. So if you have any received word, so S that is equal to R H transpose. So S transpose that is equal to basically a P n, that is basically P n minus K and I. So that is it. There is a syndrome. So syndrome is equal to the error vector. And these error vector, if you have to find out the error vector, so these received word, addition of these received word with the these error vector, we can find out again the code word. So that is a basic process. S is equal to RH transpose. In generally, in numericals, if you have to not given the any type of received word, so first of all, you have to find out that received word. So this is the list of the words, and this is a syndrome. That is basically what type of system we are following here. So you can see R plus error vector. So this is a received word, this is the error vector, and then you can find out the correct code word of that particular at the receiver section. So this is the decoding process of our linear block coding, and now we will see in this examples ki if you have given any code word, then how you can decode it at the receiver section. So if you have given any received word, how you can do the decoding of that particular received word, and if you have given any message bit, so how you can receive that particular code word. So now in next, we will again given the some type of different types of, if you have given the parity bits in terms of M1, M2, M3, M4, that is basically a message bits. So if you have given the different combinations, so how you can generate your the generator matrix, and how you can find the parity check matrix. So according to that, you will decide is vector is a code word. So first of all, you can see M1, M2, and M4. So according to that, we can calculate our generator matrix first of all, and after then we will calculate our code word and the error vector. So now there is again a subclass of our linear block code. So cyclic code forms subclass of linear block code. So what will happens basically in cyclic code, and implementation of LBC is relatively simple for single error correction. So it is basically cyclic code has a simple mathematical structures that permits design of higher order error correcting codes. So the encoder can be realized by simply using the shift register. So that is basically a combination of our shift register. We will see in our further slides. In binary code is said to be generally cyclic if it exhibits the two following properties. Means sum of any two code word in this code is also a code word, and any cyclic shift of code word in the code is also a code word. So what type of shifting you have to done in your code, you can see here C1, C2, and Cl. So that is basically in cyclic code there is a n bits code word, and if you are to shift it in ith position, so it will again follow the same rule C1, C2, Ci. So where Ci denotes the cyclic shift of our C by I places to the left, and cyclic codes are described in a polynomial forms, and this polynomial representation of cyclic code is useful in analysis and implementation of code. So that is the code vector C that is equal to C1, C2, Cl. So we can represent this code vector by the C1 to Cl. So highest degree of our polynomial form is that is equal to n minus 1 degree polynomial. So in our next slides we will see it. Suppose you want to represent your code word Cx, so that is a C0, C1x, and Cn minus 1 x n minus 1, and C1. So that is basically that is a standard. If you are shifting your one bit, so you can write in this way C0x, that is in this way. So that is basically follow the cyclic shifting. You can one bit You can again shift to the ith bit, so that is basically represented in this form. So what you have to happen, so if you are want to calculate the ith position, so that is basically if you are divided xn plus 1. So what about the xn? N is the code word number. So you can find out in this way. So basically, if you have to given the gx is a polynomial of degree. So what is the degree? That is a n minus k, and is factor of xn plus 1. So that is basically a any factor of xn plus 1, and then gx generates an nk cyclic code for which code polynomials can be generated. So cx, that is equal to dx. Same thing is here, dx into gx, but only here it will be in terms of polynomial terms. So that is the basically data word is represented in polynomials form, and basically generator matrix is represented in polynomials form. So that is basically non-systematic form of cyclic code if you are directly multiplying it. So that is basically cx dx we can already seen here. And what about the systematic form? If you are working on the systematic form, so there is equations, and if you want to convert your cx, that is xn minus k into dx plus rx. So received word will be also in form of polynomials, and data word also in form of polynomials. So where rx is a parity check polynomials. You can write here code word, received word. So what about the rx? Rx is a reminder of this one. So construct a systematic and non-systematic code. You have to given the gx for data vector 1010. So if you have to given the data vector 1010, so first of all you will convert it into the dx. So 10 in place of 0 there will be complete 0, so it will be 1 plus x square. And gx you have to already given, then you can calculate the cx by using these both the properties. And how you can calculate the rx? That is remainder of x n minus k dx upon gx. So that is a basically value of cx. And this is a polynomial form, and you can write it in a number of bits. Non-systematic code word, so that is cx, that is equal to dx into gx. You have to already given, so you can directly calculate. So non-systematic, there is no sequence, but if you are talking about the systematic, first 4 bit are just like a data word, so that is called as a systematic code word. Now again you can generate the generator matrix of cyclic codes. So first row of P, second row and third row. So how you can generate the different rows? By remainder of x n minus 1 gx, x n minus 2 gx, and minus k gx. So in this way parity matrix will also be determined by using the generator matrix G. So here, if you have to given the polynomials, you can generate. This is a cyclic code encoder. So that is basically a shift registers, combination of shift registers. So you can see here G1 R1, G2 R2, so on. You have to given the MX message signal, and there is a feedback. So systematic code which involves a division of xn minus k dx by gx can be implemented by dividing circuit consisting of a shift register. So that is basically you can design your encoder, cyclic code encoder. There is again a cyclic code encoder. You have to given a data vector. So this is a final equation. So you can also G1, G2, x square. So you have given the x is 0. So you can write it 1011. Now, what about the decoder section? So if you are talking same, there is also a syndrome, and the basic equation of syndrome, that is equal to remainder of rx upon gx. So what type of? So first of all, received word will also be converted into the polynomial forms, and then we will divide it by the generator matrix. and after then you have to check your syndrome is basically the syndrome is also in polynomial forms and highest degree is n minus k minus 1 or less, not more than this one. And if syndrome is 0 means there is no error, and if there is a syndrome existed in that particular path, so there is a error, and then you can find out your error vector also, because Rx that is equal to Cx plus Ex. So Exy divided by Gx, and what type of remainder we are achieving, that is the syndrome. So we can also calculate syndrome in both the way, and after finding out, so we have to first make a list and which particular path it will be matches. So that will be the error, and that error will be doing the XOR operation with the code word Cx. So that is our basic theme for calculating this one. So if we are talking, if we'll a little bit slightly revise in linear block code and in cyclic code. So if we are talking about the linear block code, there will be a k-bit message block, and then we will edit some extra parity bits and we will convert it into the code word. And at the receiver sections, that is basically you have to find out the received of when you are receiving the code word, and you have to find out the code word for by removing the error vector, and these error vector can be removed in our linear block code, as we have to see, you can see in here. And basically if you are talking about the subclass of our linear block code, so that is basically you can also S is equal to R H transpose. So first of all, if you have to given the G, you will convert the H transpose, and multiplying it, if there is a syndrome, there is a error, and that error will be corrected. Okay, so code word will be achieved by received word plus XOR operation of error vector. So basically here XOR operations will be done. Now we will see here in the cyclic code. So there is basically it will represented in a just like a circle, and you can shift your C by ith places to the left side. So you can also represent it as a different polynomials form. So basically, if we are talking about the cyclic code is generally systematic and non-systematic format. We are talking about the non-systematic. So if there is first 4 bits is not exactly equal to the data bits, but if we are talking about the systematic cyclic codes, so initial four or three what type of data we have achieving, that will be equal to the data word, and remaining bits will be work like a parity bits. And if you have to given any type of received word, so first of all you have to convert that your received word into the polynomial forms, and this is a basic equation. Your syndrome, that is equal to this is the definition of our syndrome. In last we have to told you syndrome, that is equal to Rx upon Gx, and by using this formula we can calculate the syndrome. And this one is also matched with the remainder of remaining part of the Ex upon Gx. So by using this we can calculate the syndrome, matching the syndrome with particular tables, and then we can do the XOR operations with the code word, and we will receive our signals. So that is our basically. And in last we have to see other remarkable cyclic codes are also. So that is the cyclic redundancy check codes, BCH codes, and Reed Solomon codes. So in next lectures we will discuss about these codes. So now we will focus on some objective questions, which is based on our channel coding. So that is basically a channel capacity decides the what type of rate. So you have to go these lectures, and then you will be more comfortable with this objective question. So that is the channel capacities. We have to also see in channel capacity in lecture of our informations, from where you can also uh, solve this. What is the among the following are essential conditions for good error control? What is the basic conditions? Minimum distance of linear block code, So all these objective questions you can solve. So I think you will be comfortable with linear block coding. Okay, thank you.